the camera all around now. 1, 2, 3. We are live, Chewy. Mr. Chew, we're going to go downstairs, Mr. Chewy, and do a studio tour. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. It's studio tour time. Let's go. All right. No tour would start properly without the name tag on the office building. It's not spider web. It's a mark on the wall. All right. Let's go tour the studio space as it stands right now in March 2025. It is quite disheveled. It is, I don't know, a 30-foot long room by about 13 and a half. I suppose we could measure it. I don't know if I could one-hand this tape measure, though. Well, I don't know if I could one-hand tape measure well. I even got my phone in the other hand. We're doing the studio tour. We start in the corner over here where we keep the vinyl. The 7-inch vinyl. The singles. I almost couldn't say it. That is a Rembrandt, I believe. And we've got turntable number 1 down here, which is a little Crossley, which I believe in Austria means bad record player. Every Crossley record player I've ever owned was bad. It skips, it doesn't sound good, but they're cheap. So they're almost not even worth having. Now, we're going to go through all this vinyl eventually on the channel, but what is in here is quite interesting. This I got from Jack White's location in Nashville, Third Man Records. We got some pictures of the fam. Let me just make sure there's nothing else in the bag here. Third Man Records, Jack White's store in Nashville is where I got this from. And this is a record your own voice vinyl that I cut when I was in Nashville. And out of that same booth that Neil Young used. So you pay $20, you wait in line because it's very popular, and you can go into the booth and you can cut a quick, 5-minute song. It's just one-sided too, but it was a cool experience to go to Third Man in Nashville. Kind of a dangerous area, I would say. Very dirty area of Nashville. The store was cool. Let's see. So this is where I keep all the vinyl. All the stuff you'd think anyone would have, 500 copies of Herb Alpert's Tijuana Brass somewhere. Where's my H section? There's some Herb Alpert Tijuana Brass in here somewhere, of course. That's all you get in the yard sales around our place. So as we do the studio tour, this is the vinyl corner. This is where all the vinyl is kept. And this was my Quest for Gear trophy for 563 subs. It's completely legit, and YouTube definitely sent it to me. My daughter didn't draw it. YouTube sent it to me. This is a weird thing that we keep in the studio. It's a cockfight. It's a yarn cockfight. It's all made of yarn. I don't even know where I got that from. It's kind of weird, right? This is just a mess right here. And then we come over here. This is the electronics area. It's where we work on pedals. I don't know if I have any pedal parts just lying around right now. I know it's a mess. This area needs to be gutted. But yeah, this is like my soldering station, my desoldering station. So, if you got guitar cables and honeydew projects that need to be... Oh man, I got a lot of cables to fix. This is the electronics area. In the corner here we have, more computer stuff, more electronic stuff. Down here, you're like, what's this big bucket of crap? And that bucket of crap, that's the ghost hunting equipment. You're like, ghost hunting? Yes. This is like your EMF, EKG, ghost hunting meter. We've got many of them. This is a spirit box. I doubt the thing would turn on right now. S-box Ghost Scanner. You can see right there that it says Ghost Scanner. But all this equipment here and that tripod, this is all ghost hunting equipment. I am part of a ghost hunting team, and I have seen 0 ghosts. We get strange audio, though. As a skeptic, I have to tell you, we do pick up strange audio in these ghost hunting things. If we've been out, 25, 30 times, we get strange audio maybe 5 of them times. Just audio that you absolutely cannot explain. So yeah, that's what this big crazy rack over here is. There's my dollar store picture of my lighthouse, which I like because it matches my other lighthouse over here. I don't own a boat. I just consider myself to be nautical. This is a Final Fantasy guy that I want a tattoo of, but my girlfriend won't learn how to tattoo. She has a tattoo gun, and she just doesn't learn how to do it. That's a cuckoo clock from Frankenmuth. We love Frankenmuth. So that's pretty much the corner of the studio here. This is one of our several YouTube lights. What else is over here? Not much. My main desk, which is trashed. This over here, we can use the YouTube light to view this. We're doing a studio tour right now, if you're just joining us. The studio's trashed. So I said, let's show it off. Let's show off how trashed the studio is. This is where I keep the synthesizers. And there's a Moog synthesizer under here. And let's see. A GoPro camera. Arturia controller. This is my my modular synth, which I'm not good at. I wish I was. I see people on YouTube that are so good at them, and then I just suck and I just stop. I should play it more. How am I gonna get good if I don't play it, right? That's the thing. I gotta play it more to get good. Let's move our YouTube light here. It's got a sequencer, and this is like an arcade Atari oscillator. 2 oscillators here, a utility panel with mults. This is an LFO, random signal and hold generator, a noise gen. This is the Behringer Space Effects for reverbs, delays, and all kinds of effects. Alone, a high-pass filter, the Wasp filter, which Behringer actually now makes. 2 VCAs, a theremin. Yes, this is a theremin, and yes, it works. And then we've got a sequential controller. Look how much of that it takes. I just love it, though. It's so big, and it's easy to get your hands on, right? So I know it takes a lot of room, but I love that sequencer. The sequential switch to add more functionality. Pamela's new workout, which is like a clock divider thing. Maths, which is a module everyone who has a Eurorack has. An ADSR. Another noise generator. 2 more VCAs. So there's 4 VCAs in total on this thing. And 2 mixers. And it all comes out to this Yamaha speaker. I just have a single Yamaha speaker. I figure it's enough to do Eurorack. Hey, I just found a guitar tuner. Bonus, these are littered around. There's my Moog grandmother. Excuse me. Yeah, it's an okay synth. 2 oscillators, and then you can add the LFO. You can turn the LFO, so it's kind of a 3 oscillator synth. This is my pile of cables at hand if I need them. This is a Yip Yip from Sesame Street, you know. Yip, 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 yip. And, you know, if anybody, you know, watched Sesame Street in the 80s, they know who that is. You know, cow. A knockoff J Mascis hat. Yes, this is a knockoff J Mascis hat made in Texas. Not a knockoff made in China, made in Texas. All right, so this is like the synth area. If you come down here, there is a little rack and another MIDI controller for the synth area. There's just power down there right now. This is you could put more Eurorack in here. Like this is a full 19-inch Eurorack, you know, enclosure. I don't have any more modules that need to live down here. Usually the modules I don't have in use live down here. There's my bucket of Eurorack patch cables right at hand because, oh, I found a sock. The dog likes to, that's the dog's bed. The dog likes to move the socks around down here. If you're just joining us now, we're doing a studio tour. Um, so this big box down here is an ISO box that I built. It's pretty janky, but it works. It's got sound, like sound deadening in it. I can take the lid off that and put this amp in that box. And I know they're pretty close in dimension, but yes, this amp will fit in this box, so I could record at 2 in the morning. I could crank this AC15 tube amp up 2 in the morning, loud as I want, in the ISO box. And yes, it does get really hot in there, so I have to watch the temperature. This is my daughter's art. I don't know if you guys watch Wizards with Guns, but there is a Pizzapotamus character on YouTube, and his catch saying is, "I'm Chinese," and he eats pizza out of his pizza thermos. This is a painting of my dog Chewy, which brings us to this janky bed. People think that I sleep down here. People think that I'm kicked out of my bed upstairs. This is just like 2 mattresses, one, two, on top of each other with a bunch of blankets and stuff that the dog likes to stretch out on. All right. We get into the guitar collection. We got a Strat, Tele, a Japanese, oh man, what are these called? Taiko? I forget what it's called. There's a champagne colored Squier Jazzmaster. I've got the Beatles' favorite guitar, which is this Epiphone Casino. Paul, George, and John all had one. Squier Jagmaster, which I don't love. I don't know why. I'm not loving this guitar. And then we come over here to my weird Russian Chinese heater, which I'm going to turn off because it's getting hot down here. We come down to my girlfriend's pedal board. It's not wired up. And you say, "Does your girlfriend play guitar?" To which I say, no. She just has the stuff. Some more pedals here, auxiliary pedals. We got the Baby Orange, which I've recently taken to someone else's place to record with. I didn't feel like lugging a bigger amp, so I showed up with this. I'm like, yep, this is the amp today. Sounds great. I'm sure it doesn't sound like a full amp, but on a record, when you're recording, it sounds pretty good. There's my orange rocker. Is it a 15, I think? Yeah, the rocker 15. There's my Quest for Gear trophy for 450 views from YouTube. YouTube sent me that. My daughter didn't make that. That's official. It's from YouTube. Got some more guitars over here. My girlfriend's Gretsch. The avocado colored Strat. An Epiphone. As we get closer into this corner, it gets messier. Got a couple acoustics hanging up. And then my real drums, my analog drums, as opposed to my electronic drums. It's a Catalina Club, Gretsch Catalina Club set. I originally got this little set of drums because I like little drums. I like, like hip-hop sounding drums, even though I'm a rock guy. I like the dry sound of small drum sets. Something like, Amy Winehouse, on Amy Winehouse's track Rehab. The little drum kit you see playing in that video. That's my kind of thing. I like that. And I've had compliments on how dry and nice it sounds. It is hard to get a big thunderous Led Zeppelin sound out of something like this, but that's not what we're going for. We get into the, that's a 1955 Gibson F-hole. Got a lot of character. Obviously the tuning pegs are not original. The bridge is not original. This thing it's not lived in the best humidity conditions. Over here, we've got this Marantz microphone isolation thing, which I never use. But you can see it's like a shield to try to take some of the reflections out of your mic. I don't know that it's even needed. Oh, what else do we got going on over here? The room gets to, you find the edge of the room pretty quickly. Let's see. This is my bass amp, one of these Fender Rumbles. I think it's a 200 watt Fender Rumble. Oh, it's a 500. The Rumble 500. So this is sort of the bass area. I probably haven't used that bass amp for more than 20 minutes. My P bass, my Squier jazz bass, and my Hofner. So this is like the bass corner. We stuck the bass player next to the drummer so they can hear each other, so they can lock the bass in with the kick drum. Speaking of the kick drum, there's the kick drum. There's my Audix i5 D6. i5 is Audix's SM57 mic. And then, excuse me, we have more guitars hanging up over here. My tolerance for guitars is about 20. After I get to 20 guitars, I start selling them and go, that's too many guitars for a person. It's too many guitars to buy strings for and to maintain. And, 5 minutes times that many guitars. It's like I don't have hundreds of minutes a night to play all my guitars. There's my J Mascis Squier, though. So I do have a short list of guitars that I don't love and I'm looking to maybe get rid of. But this is the studio desk, complete with this little mini rack on the side, because this is the tracking rack. It's got a couple of 4 channels of warm Neve preamps and an LA2A compressor, and then just, its power. And it's on wheels, this thing. I can wheel this thing around. If there wasn't cables behind it, I could push it like a skateboard and it would just go wee. And then we've got, there is a vinyl record player under here. There's a mask that looks exactly like me in real life, with the exception of I think the mask has better hair than I do. Oh, another guitar. These things are littered all over my studio. You can find these in the couch cushions here, like, someone would find dimes. Like, these are just everywhere in my whole studio. I got a record player under there. This is my real record player. It's nothing fancy. It's like, what is it even? It's an Audio Technica, about 130 Canadian. There's nothing fancy about it. It doesn't have like some crazy diamond frickin' tip stylus or anything like that. I've got my Behringer rack tuner, which is always under suspicion in terms of I don't know how good of tuning it does. Sometimes I find it really hard to find the notes. I would put this little Korg ahead of this thing in terms of accuracy. I would trust the Korg before I trust this any day of the week when it comes to tuning. We got my patch panel, which is mostly patched. Anything labeled is legit patched. It's such a pain in the butt to keep it patched, and there's not a lot in the rack. There's not a lot of stuff in the rack, so I almost don't even need a patch panel. You could get behind there and do what you need to do. This is my headphone amp, which really should be in a grab-and-go case, because I find all the time I need to grab it and go, whereas when it's nailed, bolted into the rack, it's not too handy. I've been on 2 remote record jobs lately where I wish I had the headphone rack with me, so it needs to be put in its own little grab-and-go case. There's my Lexicon MX200. You can get these all day long, used. Quirky effects, reverbs, delays, rotaries. Even quirkier is the Behringer Virtualizer 3D. It's the same thing. It's vocoders and delays and reverbs and etc. Excuse the coughing. What else do we got here? Oh, there's my 500 rack. I only have 1 module left. It's my trusty radial reamper thing. So, excuse me. I got the Tascam Model 24 on my desk, an Apollo Twin X, and a Focusrite. And you're saying, what kind of a maniac needs that many interfaces on his desk? Well, they all have different purposes. The Tascam Model 24 has 16 ins. It's really good for, drums, or if you need to record a whole band live. The Apollo is the DSP for my plugins, lately. What is it? Like, I don't know what I mean by lately. It's the DSP for my plugins when you're not going native. Lately, I try to go native, but I actually have this listed for sale. It would not break my heart if I lost a ton of money on this and I just got out of the Apollo thing. I'm sick of Apollo dongle hardware. No, thank you. I don't want any more. The Focusrite is for my YouTube channel, which you're watching right now. It's so that I can get nice mics into my phone, and it's been really working well. I'm really pleased with this. Everything I've ever got from Focusrite I've been really happy with. And then I got a CD player right here that pumps into the whole system so that I can play CDs really fast. I've got my trusty M Audio BX8As, And if you're asking, how do those sound? I will tell you, not very good. They, they've never been a good monitor. I get a better monitor mix out of my AKG K240s, you know, than I would out of these. I don't know. I don't want to say they were cheap in the day because they cost me $800 for the two of them. But in terms of monitors, that is kind of, cheap. That's not expensive monitors. J Mascis Squire Jazzmaster growing. It's growing on me. I got a lot of compliments on it. Anyway, my buddies use it and they're like, I love this guitar. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's 600 Canadian. It's not an expensive guitar. You can find them in Canada still. It's not an expensive guitar. What else do we got here? Various headphones. This is a miniature bull that I found in Spain, and I beat him and beheaded him and ate his small body. No, I've never been to Spain, but yeah, I don't know the story behind this thing. Somehow somebody made a little bull's head and put it on a thing. I like it. It goes with this decor over here of the cockfight, the yarn cockfight, right? And what else we got? Oh, the electronic drums. So I took a Crimson 2 kit, special edition, and I put a Strike Brain on it. And it wasn't a very smart thing to do because now I can't sell this thing for the life of me. It's a better kit now. The thing I did made it a better kit. But you try to explain in an ad or to people, I took a pretty good kit and I put an even better brain on it. And then they ask, well, what kind of kit is it? And I'm like, it's like a Frankenstein. It's an upgraded kit. And people are like, I can't get my head around that. I don't know what you're talking about. And so here it sits. But I would sell it if someone would buy it. And then I would buy a much smaller kit, one of the kits that are on Amazon for like $700. Because although this rig up cost about $3,000 in its day, you can go on Amazon now and get a $700 kit, and they're pretty darn good. But, well, that's about it for the studio tour. I got mic stands all over the place, various apparatuses such as that. But this is how the studio looks right now in 2025. Before we log out of this, there are only 2.5 hours left to enter my contest. It's the Electro-Harmonix Satisfaction Guitar Pedal Giveaway. Go find my video that has this in the thumbnail. It's called the Test Giveaway, the Electro-Harmonix Satisfaction Pedal Giveaway. You can sign up. The contest ends at midnight tonight. Midnight tonight, that's it. That's it for this contest. And then we're going to draw for a winner April 2nd, which is, today's Monday, so I think April 2nd is Wednesday. So a couple days. Hey, if you join me for my ITA Studio 3 studio tour in March 2025, this is it. This is where I hang out. This is where I try to make music. This is where I make the YouTube videos. So if you join me, thank you. And I didn't see any comments, and that could be because I have my phone on live horizontal mode. I can't see the comments right now, but like and subscribe if you feel like it. I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much, everybody.